Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. We are shooting the Nikon P900 Ultra. I can't even get that lens right in the frame. It's so awesomely long at 2000 millimeters. So that is the Panda. I don't know if you could see him there in the background. He's sleeping, so we're not getting any great facial shots, but we'll zoom in on him, see if we can show you a zoomed up rear end shot of a Panda. I'll see if I can get a shot of his ears, because I can just see his ears from his head when he's curled up there.
So this is the Panda's backside. This is at 24 millimeter. It's actually 4.3 millimeters on the lens, but the focal length 35 millimeter equivalent is 24 millimeters. This was actually shot at f2.8, 1/500th of a second. Here we've got 95 millimeters, 35 millimeter equivalent, 350 millimeters, and rather than just keep saying that, I'm just going to stick to the 35 mil equivalent when I'm telling you what the settings on this lens is on the P900. And here we're zoomed right in on the ears, and actually you could see that at this distance, at 2000 millimeters, we've locked focus on the neck, I guess you would say, there in the bottom left, and the ears are a little out of focus, which is quite interesting because this is at 6.5, f6.5, and you can see you got some shallow depth of field at f6.5 at 2000 millimeters with the P900 with its tiny sensor. Very interesting.
Behind me here we have these horned goat-looking little creatures. Elk, I don't know what they are. We don't have a sign right here to tell you. But we are going to take the P900 and we're going to show you some shots from the P900, zoomed in, zoomed out, show you what this lens can do. Remember, this is a 2000 millimeter UltraZoom.
Here we've got the Barbary sheep, a couple of Canada geese thrown in. This is 24 millimeters. 125 millimeters. Got one sheep looking at us, the rest doing other things. Geese could care less. Here we've got 170 millimeters. I should point out too, you'll see white balance is a little different. This was pretty much all shot in program mode, so auto on the P900. You know, if I wanted to change this in Lightroom, we could, but I just want to show you straight out of camera what these shots look like. So that's 170 millimeters, 550 millimeters. Looks like one's grooming the other there. 1800 millimeters. You can see that the sheep in the foreground is sharper, and it looks like the focus point is probably up on the horn there or something, although the tag in the ear is pretty tight focus too. 2000 millimeters. Looks pretty good. These can be sharpened up. I'll maybe do another video just showing you after post-production what it looks like, because these can be sharpened up further and they can look really, really good. So kind of as long as you watch your exposures, or let the camera watch your exposures and make sure they're okay, kind of offsets the fact that you can't shoot raw with the P900. Another one at 2000 millimeters. The eye is pretty sharp there. Another at 2000 millimeters. This one's at 850 millimeters. This sheep's starting to have something to eat. And here we are backed off to 700 millimeters. You can just see the other sheep nose on the left of the frame there. Sheep staring at us, and they got a Canada goose with his head stuck right in the feed trough. This is at 700 millimeters. 950 millimeters. Pretty sharp on the eye and the head area there. The horn is actually pretty sharp too.
In the background here, you can see the red Pandas behind me, over my shoulder there. We're going to see how close we can get in with the long reach on these lenses.
Here we're at the red Pandas. This is 240 millimeters. 650 millimeters. This is pretty decent, well exposed, pretty sharp. 260 millimeters, backed off again because we have two of them in the frame. Another at 260. Again, colors look good, exposure's pretty decent. Slight highlights out in the ears and along the white areas of the face there, but not too bad. Certainly the histogram is pretty well balanced. You could probably recover a lot of this in Lightroom. 850 millimeters, quite like this shot. Nice close-up, nice sharp face there. Another at 850. 2000 millimeters. Not the sharpest of my 2000 millimeter shots, but not bad either. Again, 2000 millimeters. Close up the the nose looks like it's the focal point there where it was focused on, and that's quite likely too, because they look for contrast areas when the focus system is working. It's a pretty decent shot, 2,000 millimeters. Backed off to 350. Now at first glance you'd think this isn't in focus, but the one above is moving, so you're getting motion blur there, and because this is at 1/125th of a second. But if you look at the one that's still below the face is quite sharp there, so pretty decent. Another one at this is at 350 millimeters. This one's at 700 millimeters. This one's another one at 700, and again the lower face is quite sharp. Upper one's not bad in this one either. Sometimes a little bit of motion blur is not bad. It connotates, or whatever you want to use the word there. I don't know if that's a correct word, but it imparts some story to the photo.
Behind me here we have the stellar Sea Eagle. We're going to take the P900, get a couple shots, see if we can isolate through the fence. It'll be interesting to see with the smaller sensor on the P900 and these smaller apertures if we're able to make the fence disappear for the shot.
Here we have the Sea Eagle at 24 millimeters. Here you can see that it's actually locked on the fence. This is at 135 millimeters. Again, another one we locked on the fence. This is at 200 millimeters, and this can be a problem, especially with when you're not using a camera where you can do everything in manual. This isn't too bad. You can see it's pretty sharp right on the beak hump there. That's 1,000 millimeters, and that can be cleaned up pretty good in post. This is very decent. This will clean up very nicely in post. 1,100 millimeters, shooting right through the fence. You can see a bit of the fence, but it's not distracting really. And let's just see here. Let's just do a quick edit just to show you. If we immediately pull up the contrast there we go. Drop the blacks a bit and pull up our clarity. There, you can see that turns into not a bad photo at all. I actually really like that. I think that looks good. Let's go back to library. There we go. Again, we hit the fence. That one's not bad. You can see the fence, but you can see it also is not focused on the fence. It's focused on his eye. That's at 200 millimeters. Again, he looked away, but you can see it's focusing on the bird. This is at 1,000 millimeters. And another tighter shot on the head there, 1,200 millimeters. Another pretty decent shot on the head at 1,200 millimeters. 1,000 millimeters. This will sharpen up real nice. Same as the one I worked on before and showed you.
We're in with the gorillas now, with the silverbacks, and we're going to try and get some shots, see how close we can get with the various lenses and stuff we've got. And also the lighting's challenging because we're backlit in here. Maybe try a little bit of flash too. Let's see what we can get.
600 millimeters. 500 millimeters. I love these guys. Just look at the eyes. Kind of makes me sad too, because you realize we're keeping very intelligent animals caged up, and you know, there's definitely some kind of morality question there. 500 millimeters. I'm not sure if this one might have been behind some glass or not. If not, we're just getting some loss of resolution, or not resolution, sorry, loss of contrast from the backlit. But that'll clean up in post too. I mean, just to show you, if we go back over here and we bump the contrast here like so, drop our blacks and pull up our clarity. Oh, didn't get the clarity there. You can see that actually becomes not a bad photo at all. So these files out of the P900 are quite workable. Like that, I'm quite happy with the way that file looks. So alrighty, now let me go back to library so I can tell you where we're at for our focal lengths. Here we're at 240. You can see the little one riding on mom's back. Another one at 240 with the little one. And that's a good shot. That'll clean up too. That's 260 millimeters. And I actually really like, here, I'll show you quick this shot here. When we go over here, pull up our contrast, drop our blacks, pull up some clarity. You can see you can clean this up pretty good too. It's this one here. I love the emotion in the shot, and while it might not be the most technically correct, as far as, you know, a little bit overexposed and whatnot, you can work it quite well here. into quite a usable shot, and I still like it simply because of the emotion it imparts. I like this photo. So, and then we've got the big guy sitting up there. That's at 240 mils. Nice shot in tight on the face. That's at 2,000 millimeters. I just love these guys, looking at these guys. How human looking is that? You know, with the hand there, it's kind of like he's putting his hand to his head, like, oh, they're looking at me again, you know. What a human gesture. 2,000 millimeters. Great look on the face there. Another one at 2,000 millimeters. Love that look. Love this shot. 1,600 millimeters. Just love that. Another great shot at 800 millimeters. Very happy with the quality coming out of the P900. I think this is going to be a camera, just for the sake of its 2,000 millimeter lens, that I'm going to get myself and keep in the arsenal. 700 millimeters. Another one at 700. Another great shot there, nice and tight. That's only at 1,200 millimeters, and it looks really good. 1,200 millimeters. Here's one at 850. He's posing to be the thinker statue here. 1,200 millimeters. I really like that shot too. Nice and tight. 2,000 millimeters. And 1,000 millimeters. These are shots, you know, unless you've got a 2,000 millimeter lens, you're not going to get a shot like this with anything else, because that's a 2,000 millimeters. That's crazy. Like, it's awesome. And okay, so here's 1,000 millimeters. Love this shot too. Just the look on his face, just so human looking. And another at 1,000 millimeters.